Hi, I'm Andrew Wasson. Thanks for joining me for my weekly guitar blog. It's August 25th, 2013, and this week we're going to discuss how you can start fattening up your rhythm fills. And this question was sent in from John. He's in Terrace, Florida, and he wrote in with this email. I really like the classic R&B styles of the 70s, but I also think that Hendrix was awesome and played several things that are quite similar to those chord fills found in the Soul R&B hits. Can you put together a video that demonstrates how a scale line in a rhythm part can be thickened up like those ornamented chord fills done in the 70s classics? From John in Terrace, Florida, USA. Well, hey, thanks for writing in, John. You know, even though Hendrix was thought of as a rock guitar hero, he did write several R&B style ballads like Little Wing and the Wind Cries Mary and Angel. And, you know, his guitar playing truly captures that soul R&B sound of the 70s with those little chord shots and those fills that he would use to thicken up his rhythm lines. So in this video, I'm going to demonstrate some examples of how a single note melody line can be fattened up by applying some two-note double stop chord concepts and by messing around with some of the groove and the note dynamics as well. Well, many of the classic soulful hits of the 70s had rhythm guitar parts that start out by simply, punching a chord, and then the guitar part proceeds to just playing out some single note lines, either from minor or major pentatonic. The common practice with many of these songs was to just go and make the line thicker and fatter sounding with the addition of either double stop phrases or by using just larger chord fragments. So you might have something like that, or so just punches like that to thicken things up. So in my first example, I have a very typical sounding soul R&B idea starting with the classic chord punch, and then it's going to follow up with a single note melody line. So here it is. Here's the first example. So next, I'm going to go forward with this line to thicken it up and make it fatter sounding. And to do that, I'm going to replace those single note melody ideas from the original line that I just played. And then the descending thing. So we're going to get rid of those, and we're going to replace those with double stop two-note chord ideas. So all of these two-note chord concepts that I've placed into the part here are going to be from the pentatonic scale. So when you try this at home on your own, be sure to fall back to those pentatonic scales when you need some inspiration for creating your parts. But anyway, here's the thickened up enhanced rhythm part. Here's what it sounds like. So that's fattened up from this to this. So you can tell it makes a pretty big impact, but it's also important to stress here that although in this case I did so happen to use the exact same rhythmic meter as the original example, so I had that replaced with... so those parts are really the same rhythmic meter, but I want to make it clear that this isn't required to do. And in fact, when we move to the next examples, I will not be maintaining the exact same rhythmic meter throughout. So in carrying on to the second example here, this time around I'll start by playing a very single note oriented backing line that leans pretty heavily off the open 6th string E. Which is once again going to be our primary pentatonic root as well, and it'll be the foundation for the melodic ideas. So here's what this initial part sounds like. So it's very simple, really laid back. Okay, now in converting this part to a much thicker, fatter sounding idea, I'm going to change the groove by coming back a lot more often to that low 6th string open E in the bass. And this will not only add far more bass and bottom end and thumpy dynamics, to the idea, but it will also give the line more of a kind of a driving feel with the bass tone grooving a lot more. Now, in changing up this part, I started with something super simple here. All I did was I flipped the syncopation that was in the front end of the original line and I placed it over over to the back end. But there's much more that I went and I did to the two-note harmony. I've taken the two-note chords along in a very linear way, moving in a very lateral manner across the neck. And this uses a little more in regard to the scale tones rather than just the pentatonic, but it adds a really interesting color to the part. Here, check it out. So here's the original. And the thickened up part. You know, the building blocks of any soulful, smooth rhythm guitar part will often boil down to having really good structure and also by having a good connection to the overall style of the musical piece. When building your filler lines and then when you're thickening them up, what you really want to do is add more self-expression to the original part. So be sure to perform these filler lines in a laid-back manner, play somewhat softer and looser with the time and looser with your feel and dynamics. And keep in mind that within this style of music, the rhythm guitar will often pan out the structure for the entire song by way of the unique feel, timing, and rhythm. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for today. As always, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye for now.